Rewarded, Tessa's intelligence, and Jill and Lily unite the young and the restless. Spoilers are in for the week of October 6, 2025. Fans can expect Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, and Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, to be rewarded. Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbank, worries about Mariah Copeland's, Cameron Grimes, safety. Additionally, Billy Flynn's Kane Ashby is confronted by Jill Abbott, Jess Walton, and Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil. Continue reading to learn more about the upcoming episodes of the CBS soap opera. Tessa Porter's troubling discovery. Let's get started with Taraya. Tessa will not give up, even though the couple is currently divorcing. The singer believes that her marriage can still be saved, and that Mariah could be in trouble. Tessa went to investigate the hotel with Daniel Romalotti, Jr. Mike Griside. When Tessa and Daniel returned to Genoa City, they share disturbing news with Sharon Newman, Sharon Case. It is also stated that Tessa will fear that her wife is in danger. The point of no return of Kyle Abbott. Michael Meala's Kyle Abbott has already lost Claire Grace Newman, played by Haley Erin. Instead of just getting back to work and focusing on Harrison Abbott, Redding Munsell, Kyle gets into more arguments with Audra Charles, Zuleika Silva. The conflict between Audra and Kyle will reach its breaking point early in the week. Is that a sign that they will get back into bed, or could this mean that it gets violent? Jill Abbott and Lily Winters unite. The young and the restless. Spoilers for the week of October 6 reveal that Jill is back in Genoa City. The woman has already dealt with Kane and Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson. Jill will then get together with Lily Winters, played by Crystal Khalil. Could Lily share some updates that change the situation, even though Jill initially felt sorry for Kane? They will confront the tycoon about his past together. Melody Thomas Scott's Nikki Newman lashes out at Jill. Jill receives shocking information from Victor later. Nikki is looking for the truth somewhere else. However, is this about Kane or Claire Grace Newman, Haley Erin? Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, has a hidden ace up his sleeve. Jack will also push Kane to change directions. Elsewhere, Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, ends up going rogue. At some point, Nick questions Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford. By Friday, expect Phyllis to get busted in a compromising position. Also, Victor rewards Adam and Chelsea for their loyalty. Finally, Danny Romalotti, Michael Damian, and Christine Blair, Laura Lee Bell, make some tough choices about the wedding. Tessa Porter's troubling discovery, fear and determination. Fans of Taraya, Tessa and Mariah are in for an emotional roller coaster this week. Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks, decides to take matters into her own hands after weeks of silence and confusion regarding Mariah Copeland's whereabouts. Her determination to uncover the truth sets off a chain of events that will not only shake her personally but could also pull multiple Genoa City residents into danger. When Tessa arrives back in town with Daniel Romalotti Jr. Michael Graziardi, the expression on her face reveals everything. There is a serious problem. The duo uncovers unsettling evidence during their off-screen investigation at a mysterious hotel, where Mariah was last spotted. Although there aren't many details, it's clear that the issue goes beyond a simple misunderstanding. Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, when Tessa breaks the terrifying news to her, immediately begins to worry that her daughter might actually be in danger. Sharon's maternal instincts flare, but she must also balance her reaction with logic, something not easy when Mariah's life might be on the line. The storyline teases a potential criminal twist. Could Mariah have discovered something more substantial, such as a business scheme connected to Chancellor Winters or Newman Enterprises? Tessa's intuition tells her Mariah didn't just leave voluntarily. It's possible that the couple's emotional bond will be the key to finding her because of her refusal to give up. This subplot reintroduces the emotional intensity that has always defined Tessa and Mariah's love story, one built on faith, resilience, and fighting against the odds. Tessa will likely transform into a ferocious protector, just like Sharon did during previous crises. Her decision to conduct an investigation heralds the beginning of a rescue mission that has the potential to reveal dark secrets and prompt unanticipated alliances. Kyle Abbott's point of no return, the fallout of bad decisions. Meanwhile, Michael Meala's Kyle Abbott continues to spiral further into chaos. His relationship with Audra Charles, Zuleika Silva, has gone from seductive to toxic, and now they are at war. Kyle's decisions are no longer rational. Instead, they are reactive and self-destructive as a result of losing Claire Grace Newman, Haley Erin, and his emotional center. The heated argument that Kyle and Audra are having this week reaches a perilous point of no return. The preview scenes suggest a confrontation that could turn physical or scandalous. Either way, the consequences will be explosive. Both are known for their fiery tempers, and their professional and personal entanglement has reached its breaking point. The big question is whether this confrontation will result in yet another heated exchange or in a scandal that affects both Newman Media and Jabo. Audra, ever the manipulator, might use this fight to twist things in her favor. Audra has demonstrated repeatedly that she never misses an opportunity, and Kyle's rash decisions could make him vulnerable to blackmail. Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, who has always tried to keep his family together, might have to step in. As the week progresses, Jack's mysterious ace up his sleeve could be connected to Kyle's downfall or his redemption. If Jack steps in to guide his son, it may be the last chance to pull Kyle back from the brink before he loses everything, including his role in Harrison's life. Power, family, and reckoning come together when Lily Winters and Jill Abbott unite. The return of Jill Abbott, Jess Walton, is always a cause for celebration among Y&R fans, and this week she proves yet again why she remains one of the show's fiercest matriarchs. After dealing with both Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, and Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, in recent weeks, Jill is ready to tackle unresolved business, and this time, she's not alone. When Jill meets with Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, the two women discover they have more in common than they realized. Both have dealt with heartbreak, betrayal, and the complicated men in their lives, and both are ready to take control. Jill and Lily confront Kane head-on when Lily shares new information about his latest schemes. This confrontation could be a turning point for Lily. After her relationship with Daniel ended and she had to manage Chancellor Winters, she has been trying to start over. As a reminder that she is more than just Devon's sister or Daniel's ex, her partnership with Jill gives her an empowering edge. As Jill and Lily team up, Kane finds himself cornered. This kind of female alliance hasn't been seen in Genoa City in a long time because of their combined strength and experience. The script hints that Jill may learn shocking updates from Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, later in the week, possibly concerning Kane's involvement in a corporate cover-up or a financial betrayal. Meanwhile, Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, will also have a tense encounter with Jill, leading to a fiery exchange. Nikki unloads on Jill, accusing her of meddling where she doesn't belong. However, Jill fires back with her signature confidence, turning the confrontation into a verbal chess match. Later, Nikki embarks on her own investigation, possibly connected to Kane or Claire Grace Newman, which could intersect with Jill's plans in unexpected ways. This storyline gives longtime viewers a taste of classic Y&R powerful women going head-to-head over business, loyalty, and family legacies, while men like Kane scramble to maintain control. Jack Abbott's secret move, the power play nobody saw coming. Jack Abbott's arc this week remains quietly intriguing. While much of the drama unfolds around Jill, Lily, and Kane, Jack stays one step ahead with a mysterious ace up his sleeve. Jack has mastered the skill of strategic patience over the course of many years, allowing his rivals to underestimate him until it is too late. Whatever Jack is planning now may be tied to business, but it's equally likely that it involves his family. His decision to pressure Kane to change directions suggests a deeper motive, possibly to protect Jabo's interests or to safeguard someone close to him from Kane's growing influence. With Victor still looming large in the corporate world, it's possible Jack's secret weapon could even be aimed at Newman Enterprises. Could he have obtained key information from his past alliance with Adam or someone within Newman Media? This subplot sets the stage for another round in the eternal Abbott-Newman chess match, and Jack might just have the upper hand for once. Nick Newman goes rogue, the rebel returns. Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, has always been the moral compass of the Newman family, the one who pushes back when Victor crosses the line. However, Nick's patience finally runs out this week. After clashing with his father once again, Nick decides to go rogue. It's unclear what this means, but spoilers say that he starts questioning Michelle Stafford's Phyllis Summers about her recent actions. By the end of the week, their conversation becomes heated, and Phyllis finds herself in a compromising position that could have repercussions for her professional and personal lives. Mariah's story needs to be told, and Billy's risky move fails. According to the Young and the Restless spoilers, Billy Abbott, played by Jason Thompson, failed to mend his relationship with Jill Abbott, played by Jessica Walton. After that, when he got to the Abbott residence, he found Eric Braden's Victor Newman seated in the living room. Victor rarely crosses the Abbott threshold, as viewers are aware. He views it as his adversary's territory. However, Victor and Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, formed an intentional alliance. Billy isn't on board but will play along because he still believes Chancellor can be reclaimed somehow. Victor Newman calls for a change in plans. Victor intended to work with Jack, but only as part of a temporary deal. The Moustache sees value in Jack's plan to team up with Billy Flynn's Kane Ashby to knock him out. Victor received some useful information upon Billy's arrival. Jill was in town and met with Kane. The former head of Chancellor informed his brother and the founder of Newman Enterprises, which includes its Chancellor subsidiary. The character of Braden now asserts that they must divide and conquer. Billy can see through Victor's mask, but Jack is willing to believe that his rival will cooperate in order for them to win. Jack doesn't realize that Victor wants to not only crush Kane but also would like to topple Jabot in one fell swoop, as the Dark Knight termed it. Kane Ashby will not get any help from Billy Abbott. Billy doesn't have self-control. Because of his tendency to engage in repeated acts of recklessness, Victor refers to him as Billy Boy. Kane's recognition of Victor's condescending nickname was instructive. In an insult, he referred to Billy Boy, his quasi-brother. Given that Billy was on a different dark path, Jill was extremely upset that she could not reconcile with him. But she fell in love with Kane because she realized how lost he was. The viewers must wonder if, on some level, Kane is really playing Jill, or if he isn't. Will he lash out in spite of the wise advice she gives? Billy is not going to help Kane, Victor. However, he might forget a piece of Jack and Victor's plan during a heated argument. Kane has shown that he can get information from a lot of people by making them do things. Mariah Copeland's stretched Halloween story. This plot, which began months ago, has only been briefly presented. The gist is that Mariah met a much older man while she was drinking while she was out of state on a business trip for Cassidy First. Mariah claimed that the man evoked suppressed rage and reminded her of Ian Ward, Ray Wise. That resulted in her flashback to this man, who was played by daytime veteran Michael Swan and a character who has not yet been named. It's only a few weeks from Halloween now. As a result, it shouldn't come as a surprise if this story continues past that point, with a possible horror reveal occurring within the next few months. Mariah's story needs to be told, and Billy's risky move backfires. According to the Young and the Restless spoilers, as two major storylines reach their turning points, Genoa City is about to burst with tension, betrayal, and intense emotional conflict. While Mariah Copeland's, Cameron Grimes, long-teased emotional unraveling finally demands attention, Billy Abbott's, Jason Thompson, impulsive and pride-driven choices are once more propelling him toward disaster. Both arcs intertwine the show's legacy families and promise major fallout that could reshape alliances in the Newman, Abbott, and Chancellor worlds. The Abbott who can't let go. Billy's spiral. The shock was obvious when Billy Abbott entered the Abbott living room and saw Victor Newman, Eric Braden, seated comfortably on the sofa. For viewers who have been watching the show for a long time, that moment represented everything Billy despises about Victor's tense relationship with his family, the manipulation, power plays, and never-ending cycle of betrayal. When Victor does enter the Abbott residence, he always does so with a purpose in mind. Billy is unable to see past the years of rivalry between Jack Abbott, played by Peter Bergman, and Victor's unforeseen alliance. He sees Victor as a predator who will take advantage of any opportunity to destroy Jabot and the Abbotts. Unfortunately, Billy's inability to control his emotions is about to create the very chaos he fears most. The strategic game of Victor Newman. Victor's reputation as the Moustache is still legendary, and when he announced a change in plans, his calculated demeanor was on full display. Victor intended to cooperate with Jack only long enough to achieve a shared goal, taking down Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn. Nevertheless, Victor's concept of partnership always entails concealing a knife behind his back. Victor sees Jack's alliance as a stepping stone to a larger power play and a temporary convenience. Behind the scenes, Victor's real objective is to regain full dominance in Genoa City's corporate hierarchy. He wants not only to push Kane out of Chancellor but also to destabilize Jabbo. The irony, of course, is that Jack truly believes he can manage Victor, an error he has made countless times before. Billy can clearly see through Victor's ruse as this plays out. However, despite his better judgment, he becomes entangled in the game. Billy's need to prove himself to his family, Jill Abbott, Jess Walton, and even his enemies is his greatest weakness. That impulse will become his undoing once again. The Jill Abbott factor, a mother who has to choose between two sons. The presence of Jill in town brings both comfort and sorrow. She is caught between two men who want a piece of her loyalty as the matriarch of the Chancellor family, Kane, her adopted son, and Billy, her biological son. She has repeatedly failed in her attempts to restore peace between them. Billy's relapse into self-sabotage is what causes Jill's anger. He doesn't take her advice, doesn't follow her advice, and lets his animosity toward Victor and Jack blind him. Kane, on the other hand, exhibits genuine remorse and a genuine desire for retribution despite his wounds and pride. As if she had to choose between two children, Jill is deeply hurt by her bond with Kane. But the big question is whether Kane is sincere or if he is using Jill's sympathy as leverage. Fans have seen Kane manipulate before. His ability to project vulnerability while plotting behind the scenes is almost unmatched. The repercussions could destroy the little trust that Kane and Jill have left if he is really lying to her. Kane's perspective, an outsider with a strategy. Kane Ashby has always been the outsider in Genoa City, never quite accepted by the Abbotts, the Newmans, or even the Chancellors. He's ambitious, clever, and dangerous when cornered. Having lost control of Chancellor Industries, Kane's desperation is palpable. The recent scenes of him meeting Jill brought back old hurts and suggested a possible alliance or manipulation was going on. Kane's isolation is a key factor in Victor and Jack's strategy of divide and conquer. They underestimate him, though. Kane is an expert at playing the long game. Kane could utilize that information to his advantage and use it against all of them if Billy accidentally leaks a portion of the strategy during one of his inevitable outbursts. This sets up a classic Young and the Restless power struggle, a corporate chess match layered with emotional betrayals. Once more, viewers are reminded that business in Genoa City is more than just business, it's also personal, and every deal has a price. Billy's recklessness, a time bomb waiting to explode. Billy's lack of discipline has long been mocked by Victor, who is well known for calling him Billy Boy. In addition to being an insult, Billy's nickname is a metaphor for his inability to transcend his impulses. He is pulled back into reckless behavior each time he tries to improve his reputation. He makes rash decisions because he is obsessed with control, validation, and proving his worth. Billy might give Kane an advantage by letting his temper get the best of him, even though he is aware that Victor cannot be trusted. One overheard conversation, one misplaced word, could unravel the entire alliance. The fact that Billy frequently acts with good intentions is what makes him so tragic. He wants to redeem himself in Jack's eyes, defend his family's legacy, and protect his mother. But as a result, he repeatedly commits suicide, alienating those who love him most. The coming fallout, Jack's misplaced trust and Victor's triumph. One of the most shocking turns in recent Y&R history involves Jack Abbott's decision to partner with Victor. Fans are aware that whenever these two adversaries shake hands, it is only a matter of time before one of them stabs the other in the back. Victor's track record contradicts Jack's belief that he can reclaim Chancellor with Victor's help without jeopardizing his dignity. By the time the dust settles, Victor may have achieved what he always wanted, weakening both Chancellor and Jabbo while turning the Abbott brothers against each other once again. Billy is the ideal pawn in Victor's grand scheme, and his resistance will only fuel that fire. The real question is whether Jack will be able to recognize Victor's trickery before it's too late, or if he will lose everything he's worked so hard to build against the master. Mariah Copeland's stretched Halloween story, a mystery long overdue. Another emotionally charged storyline continues to simmer beneath the surface while the business conflicts rage. Teases have been made for months about Mariah Copeland's, Cameron Grimes' enigmatic trip, her emotional trauma, and her unsettling encounter with an elderly man. Fans are dissatisfied with the way this story has developed in pieces, almost like a puzzle without the final piece.